Hello glitter angels, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm Viv, so you should totally subscribe and join the Glitter Angel family. So today's video is going to be a junior year reflection, and yes, I wish I would have been outside filming this, but there's been a whole bunch of cicadas around our neighborhood, and I hate that. I hate bugs. This video is going to be talking about how junior year went and discussing some obstacles, highlights, and things like that. So if I'm not wrong, I'd say junior year was pretty fun, but still difficult. I mean, I still can't believe that I conquered one of the hardest years of college, which is junior year. So I did write it all down on my laptop so I won't forget any points or just kind of anything, so I could explain to you guys from the bottom of my heart in terms of what went well for junior year and things like that. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so in terms of how this is going to go, we're going to begin with some highs and lows of junior year, and I'm also going to kind of explain why in a little bit. So for the highs, we're going to start off with the highs, because why not? So one of the things that I discovered was the film styles that I seem interested in, such as film narratives, docu-style, etc. And I also partook in film club, DePauw Film Club, which would meet Mondays and Thursdays afternoon after classes. And I did festival choir for an entire year, and I also captured highlights at campus events such as the football games, Monon Bell, Little Five, to name a few, as well as expanding further creativity with the vlogs and content, such as getting more friends in the vlogs, and basically documenting what it feels like being a college student, and also taking on film projects and stuff like that. I also took on more film classes, if I'm not wrong. I've done a K-pop K-drama, intro to digital film production, and play and screenwriting. I know, whole lot of variety. And you can't say no to that, right? Right. And then I also did other creative classes like costume lighting, scenery, interpersonal communication, music tech, and even jazz dance. So it turns out I did exceed most of the goals that I wanted to accomplish, so that is a positive note to put down. And now for the lows, such as what I've struggled with, what obstacles I went through, etc. And one of the big issues, the ultimate issues, was that I was not patient with myself. I was not even gentle with myself. That was a big problem. And it was a good thing that one of the professors pointed that out. And I also went through some nitpicking evaluation by professors, as well as dealing with more criticism, which I was not prepared for. And I also might have had a deprived social life. It was a borderline case. It basically involved a whole lot of sacrificing time for relationships. In other words, sometimes you don't have other choices but to at least put your relationships to the side, like your friends, your family, and that was one of the causes as to why I probably wasn't as outgoing as I usually am, but I was still outgoing. It's just there was a whole lot to balance at times. I might have continued to warn people about certain things. Even with a lot of the times I remembered saying, hey, this may come as a shock to you, but da-da-da-da-da. Well, basically I just keep having to warn people, hey, I'm more prone to sensitivity, lightheadedness. Well, if you know, you know. But if you don't know, that is okay. And I also might have compared myself a little way too much. Again, there's this phrase that just pops in my head every now and then that's like, hey, a lot of people have been exposed to this subject or topic except for me. And guess what? That was not helpful. And it made me realize that there's no point in wasting energy just through comparing yourself between what you have and what others have, because everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, which is what I discovered. I'm still having to learn that too, so you're not the only one. And now that we've discussed a whole lot of highs and lows, now we're gonna get into what were some moments that were memorable during my junior year, and also answering some questions that I might have gotten a number of times. So yes, hopefully this does give a brief insight as to what junior year was like. So the point of all that was junior year might have been hard, but really it was such an amazing year. And despite all the hard struggles I went through, all I had to remember was being true to myself, and that was key. So now that we've discussed some highs and lows, we're gonna go into some memorable moments as a junior. I would say overall, I've maintained a good schedule, even though it might have been tough to balance time with being a creator and being a college student. It's like a love-hate relationship. And I took creative risks throughout my junior year. As I've mentioned before, during the fall, I did costume, lighting, scenery, and interpersonal communication. And then for spring, I did women gender studies, African American literature, and play and screenwriting. I also discovered more life lessons through various people at DePauw, including the professors that I've had since either freshman or sophomore year, or even during junior year. Well, that's because those lessons that were given to me, those were things that I didn't learn as a kid, not until my adult year, aka now. And I also brought treats from break, which is definitely another highlight because of sharing my passion for baking with the DePauw people, and it's like my way of saying thank you for providing a whole lot of joy and happiness into my life, which is definitely what I needed after a hard month of January. I'm just like, every day I remind myself, you'll keep fighting. Just keep fighting. Which I'll get into in a little bit, but definitely the treats from break was the fun part. The sun butter cookies and the carrot cake, which they were all dairy and nut free, and there were people that enjoyed it, and oh my gosh, it just, it made me feel very uplifted and very happy. I pretty much have been flooded with a whole lot of positive memories, as you could tell by the vlogs, the events, the laughs. You might have seen them in pretty much a lot of the vlogs. A lot of the Life at DePauw Season 3 vlogs. I don't think I've ever shared this with a lot of people, but I also might have found a guy that I crushed on during fall semester. But he was already taken. He already had a girl. So we just ended up being friends. I mean, he's funny. The guy I'm talking about. Funny as hell. We could have been at least a comedic duo. Didn't I already say that in one of my videos? I think I might have said that.
How could I not remember that class I did with him?
Yes. Oh, you liked him?
I mean, my God, we did a project together. We worked together a couple times, so you know, we could have been at least a dynamic duo or a comedic duo.
Literally.
How hilarious is that? Okay, now we're gonna move on to some frequently asked questions. Pretty much questions that I might have gotten a lot. So the first one is, what were my intentions in taking those creative risks? So for the classes I've taken, most of them have been outside of my field of study, because I figured it would prepare me for the film world. For example, the African American literature and women gender studies, they both alerted me, as if they said, Viv, pretty soon you're going to be with different people of different genders and cultural identities, and it's time that you discover more within those subjects. And therefore I took those chances and made that happen. And it was also one of the routes and paths to one of my big dreams. And then out of all these courses, which one was the hardest and why? I would say play and screenwriting was tough, because it took me a little while to catch up, and I didn't have much experience in literary analysis whatsoever. And I didn't even do a prereq, which was what I should have done earlier, but oh well, so it goes. The professor, she thought I was not gonna do it. She might have worried about me at one point, maybe a couple times, but I changed her mind and ended up succeeding in it anyway. And also African American literature was tough. Again, not much experience in analyzing texts, but I knew it'd be worthwhile as I've been preparing for what could happen in my filmmaking journey. Yep, I hope that pretty much answers a lot of the questions that you might have been asking me. And also, I'll get into how does all of this tie in with the self-discovery journey, which I'll explain in a few short seconds. Like I said, if you're not taking risks, you're not being creative. So sometimes it's worthwhile to do courses outside of your field of study. It's like you never know if you're into that subject or that topic. Now we're gonna get into a little bit of the self-discovery journey that I did last summer, which may be difficult to talk about, but we'll get into it anyway. So, how does all this experience contribute to the self-discovery journey? I don't know if you know this, but maybe I might have documented a little bit about it last year. I probably didn't. A year ago, I started my self-discovery journey during the summer before junior year, and there have been a lot of tears, laughs, mix of emotions, whole bunch of reevaluations. It was a lot to process overall. And in my earlier 20s, I didn't think that this would be possible as my thoughts were racing like, what did I sign up for? Or why did I choose to do this? If I'm going to be honest with you, it's been a huge process to reflect over my past self, even if might have felt reluctant to do so. But with the help of you-know-who, I have been able to combat those moments that left me unable to explain the answers until reaching my adult life. I would say this experience has contributed to my self-discovery journey in many, many ways. So, I also provided this creative point during my junior year too. I might have noted that a lot of times when I get upset, I feel like an angry cat ready to attack. I love making people laugh with this humor because one day, Chris might have asked where I got it from, and I said, well, when you don't have time to sit and bawl your eyes out and anger is building up in your system, you've got to let it go. But yeah, that pretty much has been helping my self-discovery journey. I mean, I could pretty much do a whole extensive video on this if I ever plan on doing so. I guess that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to comment them down below. I'd be happy to answer more creative questions about self-discovery, reflection, to name a few. Wow, I know. Whole lot to explain. I probably sound like the one person that has turned into my hero. Wow. Hopefully this has provided a brief insight as to what junior year might have felt like, and if you've had an incredible school year for you as well, that is awesome. I am beyond proud of y'all. You've been working hard, you've been determined. There might have been days where you felt like losing hope or not being able to survive, but hey, we did it, we pushed through, and the best thing that you could do right now for yourself is give yourself some slack at the end of the day. If I'm completely honest with you guys, this is probably one of the most real videos I've ever done. This is probably at least 110% authentic of what I just said. This is not all BS and crap like that. This is for real. Like, I'm saying real stuff that happened from those experiences within. I mean, there's a whole lot to name. And which brings me to my close to final point. So you might have seen from my previous vlog the last moments as a junior at DePauw vlog, where I documented some last things I had to do to finish off the year strong. On my laptop, I also write down a list of memorable quotes from the DePauw People, whether it be through faculty, It's mostly through faculty, if I'm not wrong. I'd say one of the biggest quotes that definitely struck me was this. I might have said it in my last vlog and I'll say it again. Give yourself more space and accept the fact that you worked hard and gave it your best no matter what. Which is so true, especially there might have been days where I felt like there's no way I'm able to get through this, but really, I have pushed through. Another point that definitely helped me get through spring semester was this. You are here to learn, you are trying hard, and you have to be kind, gentle and kind to yourself. Please. Emphasis on the please. I honestly understood what my trouble has been. The problem is I don't give myself enough slack. Either, like, not at all. I mean, I'm beyond fortunate to be surrounded by a whole lot of really generous people, and especially those that provide the most incredible life-related stuff that I didn't get to learn as a child, but I do know as an adult. As a junior year, I pretty much helped my inner child in overcoming fears that occur today. So, if I could go back and tell little Viv, my 11-year-old me, it'd be this. Viv, you are going to see that person, but it's going to be you. Yep, that pretty much sums up the whole entire video, and I'm so glad that I took guts to share a lot of this stuff with you. And if you've been sticking around through this entire thing, you are a hero. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and guess what? Get excited for some summer content. I've introduced a new summer collab, which is Sassy in Summer. That's the new series, so that is exciting. Oh, wait till you find out on what adventures will be unfolded. I don't want to give any spoilers right now. Thank you for tuning into this video, and for more creative content, please make sure you guys like and subscribe, and if you didn't like it, do not do anything at all. And also make sure you have the bell notification so that you will be notified every single time I upload a new video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye, guys!
M. Christine White, 2002 through 2024.
The year you were born.
Oh my god!
Hey, no crying.
I'm not crying.
Please give me one more round of applause for all these dedicated professionals who have provided our students such excellent educations.
Oh my god.
And lastly, DePauw would not be the institution that it is today if not for the hard work and commitment of our talented and dedicated staff. I now ask that all retiring staff members who are present at today's commencement please stand so that we may recognize your many years of dedicated service with another round of applause.
My life would not be complete without you, and I wish you all the best of luck within. And I will miss you and the good times.